Welcome back, everybody. It is finally a Friday. It's the last of September. It's not even 80 degrees. It's a wonderful thing. I spent much of a week moving many of a thing in between, just endless taking apart and putting back together again of beadlocks. So there it is. Look at it. That's all there is. Wheelbarrow for scale. Now, if anyone asks themselves, what do you do with that much fallen tree? The answer is, of course, you move it 100 wheelbarrows at a time to cover the side of your the bottom of your side driveway. This is perhaps 200 wheelbarrows full of mulch. And then it breaks down and it gets a little flatter and you put more on top, and it breaks down, you put a little more on top, until eventually it's all gone. And someday it'll be all gone. I mean, there's still a huge pile of logs there and then a huge pile of huge logs over there, but you know what? We'll get to that when we get to that. In between, the new obstacle grows slightly larger. I think it's eventually going to, okay, I'm gonna try to back up and not jerk the camera around too much. I'm going up the ramp that goes up towards Roots Remain until we can see the sides. There we go. So we've got the ramp, and if you'll see, this line kind of, trying to cut that line there. So what I would like to do is kind of make this guy, extend out that way towards where that cone is. So sort of a V. That's the idea. So we've got all of that pile sifted. This is the only pile left. And that one is almost exclusively dirt and rocks. Considering how much material has been separated, it's really a very small amount of trash that I've had to pull out. Just finally had to move to a second bucket. Sadly, this is all the concrete that remains and one rock. Everything else has been moved into position over here. Everything is very, very dusty. I'm now grading, so you've got 1/2 inch and smaller aggregate there. That's about 3/8 inch aggregate. We move all the stones into the stone pile over there. That is the world's best fill material, where you can fill in all the cracks and gaps. And I am making an effort to try to make some lines on this that are just properly difficult. Like, I want to keep that steep angle right there. But I don't get too attached to any of the runs, because there's every bit of a chance that it's all gonna get buried as it goes, because I'm just doing this obstacle depositionally. I'm just depositing boom, 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 until it gets up taller. And we are, of course, using the Rogue Palo Verde that had the bricks around it as the front corner there. A little narrower than I would like for the path here, but that tree decided to plant itself where it decided to plant itself. As you can see, it's in a low spot. So whenever water does come here, or I water down Leviathan or anything, all the water just flows right to here, which is why I think that's doing well. I'm gonna kind of aim for the same thing of an approach for all angles, and it's kind of been reinforced in my mind. I had the idea of assembling something akin to a skid pad, just a concrete circle. And I think that concrete circle is going to go, seeing as the honeycomb is impossible. You cannot get hexagonal pavers anymore. I think I'm going to start right in here. I'm going to mark it out the circle. Even if I have to buy some bender boards, I would like it as a circle, and I want to do a circle right here, probably 8 feet across, because I figure if anything can't turn around in 8 feet, we've got some work to do. So, as this is tire week still, first I'm going to show you my favorite rocks, and then we're going to do a tire test that may have been performed previously, but honestly, I can't remember. So there's the plant. Look, it's all graded out, all by hand. Very, very dirty. So while disassembling that pile of dirt into its component parts, it was probably 60% dirt, 30% small gradable stuff, and then occasional rock, and then some occasional good stuff. Like my first favorite, who doesn't love, like, I mean, look at its shadow. Like, it's an egg. Occasionally, I mean, I have a strange affinity for rocks, and when I find one like this, it's just so good. Like, I don't even want to use it for anything. It's so smooth. Opposite spectrum of that, I then found, I mean, I was a geologist for about 6 semesters of college until the math got really hard, and then that went away. It's quartz with some other stuff in there, but it's just a pretty rock, and pretty rocks get set aside. Then I found, I think, malachite. This might be the prettiest rock I've ever found out here. Like, look at the gold and green in there. Yeah, I know, this is a crawler channel. Look at these rocks. And then most recently, from the same pile, petrified wood, and it's a humdinger of a petrified wood. Like, usually, I mean, you've seen, I have some petrified wood in some spots out here, but it's usually like a piece of a branch that perfectly got preserved and cleaved off. This is the most jagged piece of petrified wood I've had. I think it's my new favorite. These 4 chiefs. I mean, you want to talk about covering the spectrum of goods. It's not hot, but it's hot in the sun. So I'm going to move the shade and potentially perform a test that's been performed before, but I don't care. It's tire week. There's going to be one more big round. This is going to be quick. I'm going to do sit down. I'm going to do talk about. I'm going to change one set of tires. I'm going to give you a little preview of what's to come in the final, what I believe will be the final Tire Week episode. Ms. Direction coming up tomorrow, her journey into Tire Week. For today, moving in quick with the quietest motor and the loudest transmission, or maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna sit here for a minute, and then I'm gonna go get some tools, because I guess, what? What? I mean, I've made it not, if not abundantly clear, then at least pretty clear my feelings on the 10-3 gearbox. It's unnecessary. It's a glockenspiel of a contraption. It doesn't need that many gears. It doesn't need to do this much stuff. The slipper is slipping so badly that it was just breaking loose all the way up and still managed to get to the top. These are, of course, cut canyon trails on hair buns. But look at the drive on that. Like, all of the pit bull sets that I tested on Jake didn't move that well. Now, the Colonel outweighs Jake by like almost 4 pounds, which is perhaps why his slipper clutch is working overtime. So we're gonna do this is gonna be fairly quick, as the hair buns have proven to be historically altogether too capable. If you get any part of the bodywork or bumper bound up at all, it just goes to full slip. Like the front bumper's touching right now. Well, I mean, you'd never break a drive shaft. It seems to be the hotter I get it, It's the opposite. See, I'm used to like a Traxxas or an Associated slipper, where the hotter they get, the more they slip. The more I put pepper on this steak, the more that slipper sticks. Let's just, which one's dig? Let's swing it around and try it again and see how the slipper does on round 2. Let's see if we see any change in performance at, like the wide turning is just obviously the same. I love it. Yeah, I mean, they turn like canyon trails. Canyon trails are not, they don't turn super sharp. Now see, that's completely bound up and there was no slip there. Oh. GT5 dig is always substandard. On to the side, like no slip there. There we go. What is it? What is the magic that is within a canyon trail with a XXL hair bun in it? I think. Can we dig up that? No, but I think I was a little low. Shoot it again, Colonel. Like it feels super certain. The main problem with the Colonel, and I don't know where it comes from. Like, this body is significantly lighter than the body it comes with. These tires are significantly better than the tires it comes with. He weighs a metric ton. There have been a lot of improvements made, but the problem the Colonel has, get up, oh, okay, is that, I'll mention it again as I've mentioned it before. I think I could have done better. His point where he breaks loose and falls is wildly unpredictable. The body has shifted over. Let's see if I can pull forward and see it. The body is off the magnet in the front, and as you I mean, you can see there's almost no tire on one side and a bunch of tire on the other. The Colonel, he breaks loose without warning and just rolls. It's got a fusion in there, so we can go super slow. My other fundamentally 10.3 base complaint is that, yes, it has a 2-speed, but should it? That was nicely done, Colonel. Pivot this and not fall. Yeah, see, the canyon trail has there's a good amount of drive in this thing, but I would like the rear to hold a little better than that. So now what we're gonna do is roughly the exact same thing I just did, but I'm gonna put in an identical set. Here's what's on here now, and here's what's over here in my hand. Look at that. I mean, it'll be the only test performed that is perhaps fair. Hairbun in there, dual stage in there. Will it make any difference at all? This is a good one because Misdirection is going to be testing a series of tires as... Oh, here we go again with the slipper. Misdirection is going to be testing a series of tires, and if I don't notice any particularly big glaring difference between the dual stage or the hair buns, I'll just test one of them. I don't know. That first hit, quite a bit of slipper slipping, but do they feel interchangeable? Have I seen anything go up this as well? I don't know if I have. That's, I mean, it's just me, but that's, it borders on the impressive, really. Particularly knowing that he's not even getting full traction. Slipper seems to be heating in a little more, I think. With a turn. I feel like it turned a little tighter on the hair bun. One more wrapper in here. I will say, dig feels about the same. There's a line that I want to get, which is getting that passenger side tire inside pink rock there. Right there. There we go. The slipper was not allowing it to happen. Yeah, it punches a little wider. It punches a little wider. Yeah, I feel like the front end, that's inexplicable, Axial, come on. It is, at this point, part of my brain feels like I have done this before, but just doesn't recollect it. They are so close. They're so close. And you're talking about a couple dollars difference. I think the hair buns are about $8 a pair now, so $16 for a set. And the dual stages are $20, $21 a set. Now, if you drive in the crick, hair bun, you know, I don't think he does need a tire change. I think the Colonel might be a Canyon Trail guy. These are doing really well, both sets. Like this angle just that's properly good. All right, now this line right here is one that rigs have a problem with. Yeah, because the rear tire doesn't want to pull up over that really smooth rock. He's up, but he's not up. Sometimes wheel speed is the answer. That Colonel, Colonel, where have you been hiding these abilities? So if anything shows itself, it's probably going to be here. Get real high again. Okay, all right. Well, I mean, okay. I don't think it should seem surprising to anyone that a tire that has a closed cell foam inner in it is going to put, God, listen to that MKS. Is going to hang onto a side hill better than a hair bun. But I think in overall performance, and I would say an ounce more forward drive. Now what I need to do, and now is occurring to me in my brain case, Hey, this is the same exact, Jake got into this exact same hole. I need to test some more tires because I need to test more tires, he says, with the Tim 10 dual stages, because they've really only gotten properly shaken down in canyon trails, and they work. I mean, I think we could say they work really well in canyon trails. Did I get enough? Yes. A little too much slide. Like I say, the canyon trail is not the best tire in the world. It's just a tire that's good at a lot of things. And honestly, I kind of want to do a tire swapperoo back and forth, because the Colonel doesn't really have his own wheels and tires. He gets whatever he's given. And Ms. Direction does have her own wheels, but the tires were just kind of defaulted to her. They were what was available. We tested a couple sets and they were the best of those, but they weren't remarkably good. So I have a couple other sets put together to test on her. We will see how those go. And I think the Colonel is going to hold on to the dual stages. I think the little loss of steering circle aside, yeah, I'm doing this. I mean, that's fine. The little bit of loss of turning circle, I feel like I can accept it, because like right here, I have fear formulating itself. Oh, here comes, what is it, 40 Baker, whatever he is. Here he comes, straight over the house. Oh, he's moving. I have this fear building in my head now that I'm gonna get this thing, because you have to take it halfway apart to tighten the damn slipper. I'm gonna get that slipper clutch tightened and just blow a drive shaft to smithereens almost immediately. Yo! All right, you know what, Colonel? You're right. That is enough. So, a nice breeze is kicking up. I'm done. It's coming up on lunchtime. I am gonna do that, and I'm gonna wish you all well. Good luck on whatever your weekend endeavors might be. I do indeed thank you for watching. Please do comment below. Please do chime in on any of the tire week shenanigans. I tried to confine it to the month of September, but wouldn't you know it, I got one more test at least one more test to do. So now he's going the other way. So there might be 2 more tire week tests, because some people just don't have their permanent sets yet. I think the Colonel, I think that's probably as close as we're gonna get without going out and buying something for him. And as has been mentioned, he's not mine. I mean, I've sunk a bunch of parts and time and everything else into him, but like, he's not, the guy that owns him could come and sell him out from under me if he wanted. There's a truck dropping off a container behind me. So that's going to do it for the weekly update. That's going to do it for this mini installment, this mini interjection of Tire Week, Canyon Trail versus Canyon Trail. And definite conclusion, the dual stages are ever so slightly, the tiniest bit better at most things. You get a little bit better turning circle on hair buns, and obviously, you know, if we're going to take it over here to my right and drive it through the stream, I think the hair buns would dominate in that test. But we're not going to do that because I'm too lazy to clean the rig out. Anyway, that'll do it. Thanks again. Please do comment below. still feeding the algorithm. Like and subscribe. I'm not going to say ring that bell because I don't do notifications, so I'm not going to recommend anyone else do it either. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. So, as per usual, I'm just watching the ants on the ground. I'm that distracted. Have a good one, everybody.